The girls are taking off on a boat adventure. Alright. More window circles, that's what I'm doing today. Better zoom out. It's harder to do the ones on this side because over there it has stuff to stand on the outside. Here it's just water, so I'm fiberglassing in the inside edge, and I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. That's it. Okay, I got my next strip laid out there, and then I get one of these. Got me a start. Alright, clippity clip. Since I can only use each roller once, I made myself an extra small roller that only uses little guys like this. I can get like 2 uses out of a roller. Like, roll it off as dry as possible the first time. Wax in there, make sure I can get my roller back off the roller. Whatever part this is, the fuzzy part. Alright, now the gross part. Alright, that's looking good. My strip over there is not ready to move yet. So, I'm going to work on something else. I need to figure out how to make a thing that can cover these windows. And I want to make kind of bulbous, not half sphere, but just kind of like the convex side of a lens. So I have a stupid idea that involves some cloth I ripped out of a blanket and a thing with a hole. Alright, I'm thinking I can take this fabric and like tack it up all the way around there with little nails. And then take this plastic, stuff it all in there like all the way around. And then it should totally work, right? What could possibly go wrong? Dome. It's a dome. That's what it is. It's a window dome. Most of this boat is held together with these tiny little nails. At least until the fiberglass gets on, then that's what holds it together. Alright. Alright. Dude, there's like no way that's gonna work. I'm doing it anyway! Right. Okay, I got it level out there. Now supposedly, if I fill that with water in the top, it'll blub. But seriously, what I wouldn't give for a snow saucer right now. Alright, it's either gonna work or not, so just do it. Huh. 2 jugs of water and holding. Well, my wood was starting to bend before I got this, filled in so it would really blow. But, I just threw some resin on there. We'll see how it goes. Oh, and check out what I found in the water the other day. It's got some holes in it, but it's mostly intact. It's a dugout canoe, otherwise known as a cayuco around here. When working with fiberglass, it's often good to have 2 projects going at once. So while resin's curing on my giant boat over there, I can start making a whole new mess over here. So I also have this little boat here, which is a little bit too little. And I want to make one a little bigger and with better pontoons and just a better version of that, basically. And that little one over there I made kind of really fast. And I'm going to do a really good job on this one. So I'm starting with some shields. At the end I won't need to have these in the boat anymore, so I'll actually be able to give them to the kids. Well, one for me, there's 3 of them. And to get this shape, I needed, well, I mean it's kind of an arbitrary thing. I wanted something 1.5 feet wide, and I want this edge to be 2 feet, and I basically just drew one side by hand, cut that out, took those pieces, flipped them over, and then traced the same thing over here. I mean, it should be roughly parabolic, except for the point. Oh, and the top edge there is roughly round. But for the next piece, I need to actually do some measurements. So those are going to be like the shape of the cross section of the pontoon, which should make sense. Next, I'm going to make a shape kind of like this for the top of the pontoon, except a lot longer than this and a lot more perfecto. And I decided to go with just an actual circular curve. And I happened to learn the function of a curve in school, which I didn't remember. But I did remember that x squared plus y squared equals the hypotenuse squared. And if I keep the hypotenuse the same all the time, I can use that as the radius of a circle. So the function of a circle is x squared plus y squared equals the radius squared. And then you just shovel that around a little bit and you end up with like y equals the square root of r squared minus x squared. Anyway, I also did a little calculation to figure out what the radius should be on this, but I'm not going to bore you with all the math. Now, all this wood stuff I'm making is not actually going to be part of the boat. I'm making half of one pontoon, and then I'm going to cover it with wax, put some fiberglass on that, peel that off, and that will be my mold. And then the wood can go do whatever it wants. So I need to make this piece really, really good, because I'm going to use it 4 times. Or more. I could use the mold for lots of boats. Hey Chief, did you get all your calculations right?
Yeah!
Oh, good. So, here's my fancy curve. This one. Yeah, this one. Not this one. Hey, Eric, can you grab that piece and pull it up? A little higher. Yeah, so you can put this under. Up. High. Yeah. Okay, good. Ooh, that's looking good. I need my plywood to curve, so I'm cutting all these grooves in it. And often people ask me, Jaimie, how do you build so much stuff? Well, I'm willing to cut 40 grooves in a piece of plywood by hand, if that's what it takes. That's going pretty well. But I think I just got a better idea. Oh, it's totally a better idea. Alright, I need to undo this. Oh, I'm sure I can find another use for a bendy, grooved piece of plywood. It's also important not to get so invested in doing something one way that you can't switch to another way if a better idea comes up. Actually, a lot of my best ideas pop up when I'm halfway through doing something a different way. And I'm looking at all the parts, and then I just get this idea, like, wait, if I take this wood out and just put a sheet of fiberglass there, it would solve all those problems I'm having. Oh, well, I guess I better do that then. Haha, sheet of fiberglass. I just waxed a piece of plywood and then started laying down fiberglass on it. And to cut that up there, I just found some leftover curvy pieces from up here and traced the curves roughly what I want them to look like. Also, that weird water experiment I was doing that looked like it was going to be nothing. Well, it turns out the bottom section of it was a really nice curve. So I cut it out. It's right here. And then I started making molding sections of it. And it looks like it's coming out spectacularly. So I'll attach another one there, then slide it over, put one there, one there, one there, and then I'll have a big domey thing that looks like it'll fit the windows. This thing's like wrestling a greased alligator. But I got it tacked in here with a few small nails. And there's one of these here, there, and there. And then up in the front is the long piece. And I used little strips of wood along the side here to keep it from, you know, getting wrinkly. And I'm just working my way up this seam, connecting it all the way. And I had to make a couple cuts down here. One there and one there, so that it would kind of bend together correctly. So when this is all together, this fiberglass piece will be the mold. And I'll take out all the wood inside, then I'll have to sand these parts in here to smooth them out. But I think it's looking pretty good. Although before I take the wood out, I have to put fiberglass or some kind of reinforcements on the outside so it holds its shape. Well, there goes the sun. I still can't believe how well that big domey thing's coming out. It's looking great. This pontoon's looking pretty sweet too. Yesterday, I was having doubts about both items. It's looking pretty good right now though. It's humbling to not be sure what you're doing is going to work out, or not to know how it's going to work out. It's like the project is bigger than me, and figured itself out. And I'm just kind of going along for the ride sometimes. Good night, adventure builder.